To weigh in on this, we're now joined by Willem Els, a Senior Training Coordinator at the Institute for Security Studies, and he joins us now via our video link for more on this discussion. Willem, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. I mean, 540 arrests which have been conducted by the Hawks, especially looking at the 2023-2024 fourth quarter. What do you make of the arrests?
Good evening to you. Yeah, we must remember that the Hawks are only looking at serious crimes. The rest of the cases, the less serious crimes, are being investigated by the South African Police Detective Services. So we must commend the Hawks, because normally these are hard cases to crack, and also these are very high-profile cases in terms of monetary value, etc. It makes it very difficult to investigate. So for them to bring forth these investigations, but also to secure the convictions, is an achievement for them. But we should look at the background about the bigger picture in South Africa and the crime levels in South Africa. We must understand that these are only the serious ones. It does not reflect the real situation in South Africa in terms of crime statistics.
And, you know, looking at the types of crimes which have been committed, fraud coming out right on top of that list. And of course, you know, one would say when it comes to the types of crimes being committed, how difficult is it to actually arrest people for fraud?
Yeah, we must remember, you know, your financial crimes, because of the tremendous spike in financial crimes. And financial crimes, you know, it covers a very broad spectrum from corruption to money laundering, to terror funding, to embezzlement of money, etc. So that is very technical in many ways. So you need your specialized skills in the police in order to investigate these type of cases. And we know that there is a severe skills deficit in the Hawks as well as in the police when it comes to these complicated cases to investigate them. And the main problem because of that is that the Hawks, if you look at their budget and you compare that to the mandate that they have to fulfill, we see that they are really underfunded, but also under-resourced for the work that they have to do. So for them to achieve these type of results is really remarkable.
And also looking at, you know, 47 million rand worth of drugs seized by the Hawks, and subsequently 68 arrests also made there. Would you say that this is a major breakthrough, especially when it comes to trying to deal with the issue of drugs in our country?
Yeah, I think that is a major achievement. You know, South Africa is known as the so-called southern route when it comes to heroin. The heroin is smuggled all the way from Afghanistan to Pakistan along the east coast of Africa. Then it enters through Mozambique and Tanzania all the way to South Africa. From here, it is disseminated to the Americas as well as to Europe. That is one of the main smuggling routes. And for them to manage to crack or to make some inroads into this is really remarkable. We also know that South Africa, the main route from South America, from Brazil and the Central America towards the Far East and Australia, is also via South Africa. South Africa is a major hub when it comes to the movement of these drugs. So for them to achieve these breakthroughs is really remarkable, and that also indicates that they might have improved on the intelligence side of it in order to make these arrests.
And Willem, let's go back, to the arrests which we see were made in the 2023-2024 financial year, fourth quarter, 540. One would also ask, when it comes to the success in terms of the rate of convictions in this country, are we convicting enough of those who've been arrested for such crimes under the Hawks?
Under the Hawks, it's a bit better. But if you look at the police, if you look at your serious and violent crimes, our detection rates, and that is your arrest, your investigation, and then your conviction, is in the lower 30%. So that is really it is not where we want to be. It is not where the country needs to be, especially if we look at the overall picture and the crime statistics that are really overwhelming the country.
And what would you say, what more still needs to be done to ensure that as much as we have these arrests being done in such large numbers, what needs to be done to ensure that they ultimately do get convicted?
Well, you need a good investigation. In the first case, you have to identify the suspect. Then you have to start to investigate the case file or the case docket. You have to build a very solid case against your suspect. You can arrest him after you got a solid case, or you can be arrested during the investigation, depending on the case. And then it is once the investigation has been completed and it is believed that there is a very good case and a possibility of a conviction, it is handed over to the NPA, where they will then decide whether they're going to prosecute this case or they're going to refer it back for further investigation. So it's a long process that it has to go through before it actually ends up in the court, especially with these more complicated cases. And your challenge for that is you need specialized skills in most cases to do these investigations, and we have a severe lack of skills. The guys that are working there, they are really overwhelmed. If you look at the numbers compared to the numbers of cases, that they are really overwhelmed in terms of what they need to do. They're also under-resourced in terms of what they need to do. So what we can do as a country, we can really look at capacitating the hawks. We can look at the skills deficit, and we can look at the budget and enhance that budget, because that's the only way we're going to get on top of this, because South Africa is really being targeted especially by your organized crime syndicates that are benefiting from these deficits in our country.
All right, Willem, thank you so much for your time and for that insight. That is Willem Els. He is the Senior Training Coordinator at the Institute for Security Studies.